All right, well, good evening and welcome to tonight's Board of Education meeting. It is great to see all of you here. We called our meeting to order earlier in our closed executive session, so we can begin the meeting tonight. First, I actually just want to say congratulations to Paul O'Brien for winning the election on the Plainsboro side. You're stuck with us for another 3 years. And congratulations to my running mate on the West Windsor side, Sharon D. Sebastian. And also kudos to Hanif Payak. You know, it takes a lot of grit to put yourself out there and run for public office. So congratulations, and thanks to everyone for engaging in the process. Let's see. Do you have anything to? Go right to kids. All right, perfect. Great. So now I'm going to turn the floor over to our High School South and High School North representatives. From High School South, we have Alice Nadochi and Anna Chen, and High School North, we have Anissa Samuel and Logan Klein. So I'm not sure who's going first, but all right, perfect. Thank you.
Hello, thank you for having us again. We are so grateful for our successful Homecoming Spirit Week and dance, as well as completing the first marking period of the school year. First, we would like to begin by highlighting the recognition of one of our dedicated staff members, Mr. Coburn. He was honored as Outstanding Educator at the PTA Awards banquet after being nominated by our PTSA. Not only is Mr. Coburn our student council advisor, but he is known for always putting students first, and we are incredibly proud to spotlight this very well-deserved honor. Another one of our faculty, Mr. Porter, received recognition from Rutgers University at their football games halftime for the Extra Yard for Teachers program. Rutgers also awarded the South community with 2,000 free tickets. His efforts definitely do not go unnoticed at South. In addition to teaching social studies, he coaches winter and spring track. Finally, we would like to shout out our athletic director, Mr. Dobinson, for organizing and making the CVC Sportsmanship Summit happen. Next, for our athletes, we would like to highlight some of the accomplishments from our fall sports as we conclude the season. We are proud that our boys cross-country team placed 4th at sectionals, and our junior Risha Rao placed 10th overall, qualifying to compete at groups. Our girls soccer and field hockey team finished as division championships of the Valley and CVC respectively. As we enter the winter sports season, we can't wait to see what our successful athletes accomplish. And now I will pass it on to Anna.
Thank you, Alice. As for our arts programs, our fall drama production of She Kills Monsters is in its final stages. The comedy drama reflects themes of grief, loss, and sexual identity while blending into the imaginative world of the game. The cast, backstage team, and Miss Scheller have been working incredibly hard on this play and are thrilled to perform on November 20th through 22nd at 7 p.m. in the Playhouse. In addition, the orchestra held their fall concert showcasing senior soloist Emilian Lipnovich. December will be an exciting month of concerts. The choir, band, and children's concerts are in the works, and we can't wait to hear from our talented students. Now for clubs, this past Friday, our Black Student Union hosted a fun and competitive student versus faculty basketball game, a great way to end the week. Next, we would like to highlight our Science Olympiad teams led by Mr. Young and Mrs. Kelly. This past weekend, they attended a competition at Cornell, and we are so proud to announce that our A and B team placed 1st and 13th respectively. Finally, our Model Congress team will be traveling this weekend to compete at Yale Model Congress competition. We wish Model Congress the best of luck at their event. Lastly, we'd like to preface our upcoming events. Our student council has picked off from homecoming planning and continued their busy efforts in organizing some exciting spirit events. This Thursday, they will host a pickleball tournament as a joint event with the Women in Sports Club. Next month, we also hope to hold a volleyball tournament with the North Student Council at the Pirates Gym, and the Student Council is in the works of organizing a Winter Wonderland community event for the elementary students full of fun crafts and winter-themed events. We can't wait to see what the second marking period will bring, and now we will pass it on to North.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having us this evening. Looking back at October, we had our homecoming game with our psych set as neon. It was so much fun seeing everyone bring their spirit to the game and glowing in the stands. During halftime, we continued our tradition and crowned our homecoming court as well. To end off that week, North Student Council hosted their annual homecoming dance, which was a success. With the theme set as fairy tales, students were able to enjoy a magical night. Continuing on, fall sports have come to an end, and all four sports had a pretty good season. To highlight some of our teams, congrats to our cross-country team, which won sectionals as a team and qualified for championships for the first time since 2021. Another shout-out to our girls' tennis team for making it to the state finals and putting up an amazing fight, which they unfortunately lost. Additionally, North's marching band performed at MetLife Stadium, where they placed third.
Winter sport registration has closed, and we are looking forward to all that our teams will do in the upcoming months. Switching over to clubs, North Theater hosted its annual play, Lend Me Tenor, last week. They had 3 showings, which was a fun watch. The annual North Volleyball Tournament, hosted by boys volleyball team, is happening this Wednesday, November 19th. Teams of 6 to 8 people get to compete and see who is the best, with a prize of a free t-shirt and a $5 gift card. While it's been a fun, relatively quiet month, we are looking forward to the long weekend and spending time with friends and family for Thanksgiving. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. It's always great to hear how much you guys are doing athletics and academics and extracurriculars. I don't know how you guys find the time to do it, but kudos to you. And feel free to sneak out now or after we recognize our student athletes. So thank you so much. And now I'd like to turn the floor over to our athletic directors, Jeff Riley and Kate Dobinson. Not sure who's going to go up first, but for those of you who might be tuning in at home, we have a packed house tonight, so this is really exciting for us.
Thank you very much. At WWP North, where every day is a great day to be a night, this past fall season, our student athletes set new standards, competing at the highest levels, earning county and state recognition, and representing our district with exceptional character and sportsmanship. Tonight, we celebrate not only their achievements, but also the time, effort, and commitment it took to get here. Behind every accomplishment is a team of coaches, families, and staff who support these young people every step of the way, and we thank everyone for that continued partnership. The first team I'd like to call up is the girls' tennis team. Can we have the whole entire girls' tennis team here tonight come on up with their head coach, Rich Arnold, and Eric Stewart, assistant coach. Our girls' tennis team had another outstanding year, winning the CVC tournament title for the second straight season and finishing as a Group 3 state runner-up again 2 seasons in a row. Sophomore Sarah Henderson captured the CVC first singles championship, showing incredible composure and avenging an earlier season loss. North also swept all 3 single flights, with Eva Faye and Mahi Padmidi winning their finals, and both doubles teams of Alicia Chen and Nidhi Venkatesh and Isabella Abrigo and Yashika Tanuku finishing third. Congratulations and outstanding play this past season. Thank you. All right, thank you very much. We'd like to call up the girls cross-country team with head coach Deanna Altvader and Dan Maida. The girls cross-country team consists of Allison Lee, Juliet Halpin, Anita Bhatia, Isabella Lee, Sarah Sakura, Evelyn Yang, Pravaki Kumaran, and Dia Nagala. Our girls cross-country team delivered one of the strongest seasons in program history. They finished second at the CVC Championship, second at sectionals, and an incredible 4th place at the Group 3 State Championship, the highest team finish ever for a West Windsor-Plainsboro North team. Individually, Allison Lee had a historic season of her own. She was the CVC champion, the sectional champion, and the Group 3 State champion, and then capped it off by finishing 7th at the Meet of Champions this past season, placing herself among the top runners in the state of New Jersey. Congratulations on a great season. Thank you. And lastly, the boys cross-country team. Head coach Brian Gould, assistant coach Dan Maida. I think Brian's being led around by somebody else right now. But I'd like to call up Agrim Jha, Paul Wittenberg, Rohan Varma, Soham Shah, Ashvin Avianeni, Andy Chi, Vijay Roy, and Sushant Kari. Come on up. Our boys cross-country team had an outstanding season and continue to establish themselves among the best programs in New Jersey. They finished second at the CVC Championship, captured the sectional championship, placed fourth at the Group 3 state meet, and went on to finish 10th overall at the Meet of Champions. Individually, Agrim Jha had a remarkable year, winning the CVC Championship, finishing second at sectionals, and placing 14th at the Meet of Champions, making him the only sophomore named to the all-state cross-country team. Paul Wittenberg also delivered a tremendous performance, finishing second at the CVC Championship to help lead the team. Congratulations. Great job. Again, thank you for having us here this evening. We really appreciate it. We look forward to this evening after every season. Thank you.
Good evening. It is with great pride and honor that I present to the Board of Education and the greater WWP community members of the South girls tennis team. First singles, Alice Natochi. Second singles, Vanessa Kudla. Third singles, Archisha Ghosh. First doubles, Karis Ko and Sana Dawe. Second doubles, Caroline Wren and Sitara Shaw. This phenomenal team is coached by Pat Kelly and Craig Frame, who unfortunately were unable to be here tonight. It was a successful season for the South girls tennis team, who finished with an overall record of 17-4 and 7-1 in the CVC. The team delivered an outstanding season marked by grit, consistency, and standout performances across the lineup. Their hard work culminated in capturing the Central Group 4 sectional championship with a win over East Brunswick, a testament to their depth and competitive spirit. The team continued an impressive run at the State Group 4 tournament, finishing second. It was a season defined by teamwork, resilience, and the legacy that the players and program can be proud of. And as your athletic director, I always say, I love watching you play. And I truly, truly mean that. I am also proud to share postseason honors. First team Group 4 doubles, Karis Ko and Sana Dawe. Second team, Group 4, Alice Natochi. And I just realized earlier today when it was announced that the South girls tennis team was also named NJ.com CVC Team of the Year. Thank you, ladies. On behalf of Jeff and I just want to thank the Board of Education, the greater community, and all of the support from all of the principals, Valerie Rodriguez, Lamont Thomas, for supporting our student athletes both in and out of the classroom. We are grateful for all of your support. Thank you.
Thank you all for joining us this evening, and I hope you are all very proud of your accomplishments. Thank you for representing WWP, and feel free to, take this opportunity to depart tonight's meeting, unless, of course, you want to stay for the very exciting presentation we're about to have. But we won't be offended if you, decide you have, other activities, other other commitments. Homework, yes, homework. So, I don't know. Okay. Okay, now that the room has cleared mostly, we do still have some people staying on, so very excited for that. Now I'd like to welcome Sue Tataro to give us a presentation on the program of studies.
Thank you and good evening. And I am presenting this on behalf of Dr. Gould, so thank you to her for allowing me to do that. This evening's program will include the changes to the program of studies for 2026-2027, the program of studies timeline, and courses being proposed as additions. So in looking at the program of studies timeline, there are several opportunities for families and students to learn more about the program of studies and course offerings for the 2026-2027 school year. The first will take place on January 21st. It is a webinar for our 9th graders. It is the 9th grade program of studies for all of the incoming students. This session will focus on the courses available to 9th graders, as well as graduation requirements as they begin to make decisions about the courses that they'll be taking. On January 28th, there will be a virtual webinar for all 10th through 12th grade families and students. Information for these will be sent to families and students in the new year. Next, students and guardians will have the opportunity to enter their request in Genesis for course selection, and our Director of Communications, Kia Bergman, will send out more information about that. During the months of February and March, school counselors then will meet with students one-to-one to finalize the requests that they're making for courses and for their schedule. Course changes can be made from August 1st through the 15th for any student. Changes will be honored as long as there is availability in the courses. 9th graders have a second opportunity to make level changes only from October 1st through October 15th. That is if they are in a course and they decide to level into an honors course. Throughout the year, if students need to change courses going from an honors to a college prep, that can be honored throughout the year after having a discussion with the teacher. We are very excited to be offering a few new courses for the 2026-2027 school year. The first of these courses is Data Science with Algebraic Applications. This course is intended to provide a meaningful opportunity for students to meet the third year requirement for mathematics. It builds on Algebra 1 and geometry and enables students to engage with mathematical concepts in a hands-on, real-world application way. Students who take this course could then pursue Algebra 2 or statistics for another year of math. Another course being offered is Commercial Music Ensemble, a performance-based ensemble which explores modern genres like pop, hip-hop, and R&B. This course is open to vocalists and instrumentalists. Emphasis is on collaboration, stage presence, and versatility in today's commercial landscape. Music Productions 4 Honors is a continuation course following Music Production Courses 1 through 3. Music Production 4 is an advanced, project-based capstone course in which students operate as independent producers and audio engineers to design, execute, and release professional-level music or sound projects that showcase mastery of production, post-production, and portfolio development skills. Lastly, we will be offering advanced placement macroeconomics. AP macroeconomics explores the principles and models that explain the behavior of the economy as a whole, guiding students to analyze economic data, interpret policy impacts, and understand concepts such as national income, price levels, financial systems, and international trade, while preparing for the AP examination. The prerequisite for this course is AP Microeconomics. Students can also take this course as dual enrollment. Now for the Program of Studies updates. The following changes are being presented to the Board of Education. A change to provide advancement via individual determination courses, otherwise known as AVID, 21st century credit for our electives, because the AVID curriculum meets the standards presented by the state for 21st century skills. To change the multilingual learner district model from high intensity to a sheltered instruction model for multilingual learners. In a high-intensity model, students receiving multilingual support spend most of their day receiving pull-out instruction in separate classrooms and less time in general education settings. We have changed to a sheltered instruction model to align with research best practices for supporting multilingual learners, where students are receiving multilingual support in more inclusive settings for more of their day. We have trained our general education teachers in the Sheltered Observation Instruction Protocol, otherwise known as SIOP, strategies to better support students. We are seeing great success with this model, as we were providing 2 pull-out sections last year. Now we are only pulling out for 1. The change in the prerequisite requirements for AP statistics to include the percentage requirements for geometry honors or pre-calculus. This is not a change in the percentages, but it is now in the program of studies. They were not included in there directly. These are in line with the requirements for any AP course of 80% or above for an honors course and 90% or above for a college prep course. There's a change in wording for the prerequisite for pre-calculus to include both Algebra 2 and geometry. This was always our practice, but was not clearly communicated in the program of study. There's also a change in wording for Spanish 3. We have added at least a 70% in 8th grade Spanish is recommended. This is being added to support students in making decisions about placement in world language from 8th grade into 9th grade. We also have updated the Mercer County Technical Schools section to include all of the program offerings for 2025-2026. We've changed the course name from Research in Sustainable Development to Research Lab, Housing, Transportation, and Sustainable Development to better match course outcomes. For music production, we changed the names of these courses from Music Technology to Music Production to better match the course, and we also updated the description. The AP Studio Art prerequisite now enables more pathways for students to participate in the course. It allows students with prior art expertise in other art courses, for example, photography, to take AP Studio Art without the requirement of submitting a portfolio. Before, a portfolio review was the only pathway. So again, these are the proposed changes and updates and additional courses that are in front of the board tonight. All of them are obviously aligned with our mission to make sure that the course offerings that we have match what it is our students need and want, and that the access to these courses is always based on what is best for students. So if there are any questions, I will answer them or defer to Dr. Gould.
Lloyd, go ahead.
Just a comment. I just wanted to say I'm glad to see that for the Program of Studies information sessions that it's continuing to include 10th to 12th grader, 10th to 12th grade parents, because I know that wasn't done in the past, and this might be the second year or so continuing. So that's great to see, and it being communicated to those parents as well.
Great, thank you. Any questions from this side? Louisa?
Hi, thanks for the presentation. Is it safe to assume that for any of the new courses, you'll do an evaluation at the end of the year and assess how that went?
Absolutely. That's part of the protocol for any course that we adopt.
Good question. Any others? Go ahead.
Just a comment, just to say that it's very interesting to see how more of the arts and those other areas are also being, are supplementary to our program of studies and broadening the opportunities for students beyond just the typical ones.
Many of the courses that we're adding, Dr. Gould has shared, are because our students have asked for them, especially in looking at macroeconomics. That is one that all of the students in the microeconomics ask for. So we try as best we can to respond to what it is the students need and what they want.
That's nice to hear the importance of student voice. Other questions or comments? Oh, okay. Well, thank you, Sue, for the presentation.
Thank you.
So that takes us to our first opportunity for public comments. The board invites thoughts and reactions on agenda items and items of concern from members of our community who are present. Each participant is asked to give his or her name and address prior to making a statement, which will be limited to 3 minutes in accordance with Board Policy 0167. All statements shall be directed to the presiding officer. This public comment period shall be limited to 60 minutes. Do you have any takers for this first opportunity? Seeing none, I'll close this opportunity for public comment and move on to our committee reports. So I'll turn the floor over to Liz for our Administration and Facilities Committee meeting reports.
The Administration Facilities Committee met on November 11th at Central Office. The committee reviewed Policy and Regulation 2535 library material and recommended them for a first reading at tonight's meeting. The following highlights from the fall season were shared with the committee, and many of which we have heard earlier this evening. Both of High School North's cross-country teams for boys and girls took fourth place in the NJSIAA Group 3 Championship. Allison Lee of North took first place in the Group 3 Championship, making her the first female runner in the school's history to be in the individual Group 3 champion. High School South's girls soccer team won the Valley Division of the conference for the second year in a row. The girls field hockey team also won the same Valley Division of the conference for the second year in a row. Both of South's cross-country teams, boys and girls, came in fourth at the CVC championship race. It was also highlighted to the committee that there was a number of South students who attended the Rutgers football game on November 8th as guests of Rutgers University, as they honored South Social Studies teacher, Mr. Joe Porter, for his impact on education. Ms. Sincada provided a presentation on how attendance and absenteeism are calculated both to the state of New Jersey for required reporting and within the schools, specifically at the high school level, for course credit, as it appears on the transcript for a student. Ms. Sakata also highlighted the changes that were made to the attendance policy 5200 in 2023 and how these changes have actually shown improvement in attendance, as well as clarity in understanding how credit for the courses are calculated. A plan for continued improvement in the area of attendance at all schools was also shared with the A&F committee. The committee also received updates around the transition from Registration Gateway to Genesis for kindergarten registration, which will begin in January 2026. Genesis is our current student information system, so this change should provide more user-friendly access for parents and caregivers as they move through the registration process and into regular use on the Genesis portal once their student is enrolled. The full transition for all grade levels will be implemented for the next school year, 2026 through 2027. The next meeting of the committee will take place on December 9th at 7 p.m. at Central Office.
Thanks, Liz. Any questions or comments from the board? No? Okay, so I'll turn it over to Loy for curriculum and instruction.
Thank you, Graylin. The committee met on November 11th. Dr. Gould reviewed the WWP Performance Report for 2024-25, which highlights our district's strengths and which is going to be submitted to the Department of Education, Education annually. Then Mrs. Danch, social studies teacher in district, presented her PhD research proposal for approval titled "Developing Human-Animal Deference in the Social Studies Classroom," a qualitative study investigating anthropocentrism, I hope I said that right, and non-human animal subjectivity. Dr. Gould then previewed the changes of the program of studies, which Mr. Terrell presented tonight for the 2026-27 school year. We also had supervisors Dr. Assini, Ms. Wolf, Mr. Santoro, who presented new courses to be added for the 2026-27 school year. I think there's an error in tonight's agenda. It's for 26-27 school year for the program of studies, again, presented tonight by Ms. Santoro. So let's see. Next, I'm just going to highlight items on the agenda for voting this evening. First, the committee recommends approval for 2 health and physical education teachers to attend a lifeguard training course with NJ Lifeguard LLC in Lawrenceville during the month of November. During this month, as a total cost not to exceed 790 plus mileage. Then next, the committee regarding, we talked about professional development consultant. The committee recommends approval for the following presenter, which is Don't Diet Dietitian, to present 5 professional development sessions on healthier lifelong behaviors to high school seniors during the 25-26 school year at a total cost not to exceed $1,500, including travel. Last but not least, field trips. The committee recommends the following overnight field trips with High School North, which I'm going to list right now. Science Olympiad to Cambridge, Massachusetts from January 23rd to the 24th of next year. The cost of the trip is approximately $300 per student. And then our Model United Nations to Philadelphia from January 22nd to the 25th. The cost of that trip approximately $600 per student. Future Business Leaders of America to Atlantic City from March 9th through March 11th. The cost of the trip approximately $550 per student. And then last, the Future Business Leaders of America again to Orlando, Florida. Very nice. April 15th through the 17th of next year. Cost of the trip is about $2,000 per student. The curriculum committee will next meet on Tuesday, December 9th. Thank you.
Thanks, Loy. Any questions or comments from the board? I have one. I am very also curious about the no diet, but we'll talk about that offline. Next, I'll turn it over to Louisa for a finance committee report.
Thank you. The Finance Committee met on November 11th. The committee reviewed the monthly financial reports and also reviewed items scheduled for approval at today's board meeting, including a donation from the PTA for Village, bus evacuation drills, quotes, and a bid for transportation routes, as well as professional development for a baseball coach. The administration shared an update on the process to purchase the property located at 72 Grover's Mill Road. The capital project submission to the state will be presented at the November board meeting for approval. The state must approve the project before the purchase can be made. The ability for the district to purchase the property was already agreed to in the lease documentation with RBM of Plainsboro. Administration provided an update on construction projects, including projects under the Energy Savings Improvement Plan. The district is moving forward with reconstructing the tennis courts at South. Although this project is planned to be part of the 26-27 capital reserve budget, certain processes need to start now so that the physical work can begin July 1st. The first step is capital project approval by the state. The second step will be to go to bid sometime in the spring of 26. The superintendent gave a summary overview of the archaeological survey, which was performed at the Southfield property. Administration discussed the potential grading and guide rail needed at the maintenance shed over at South. This project has been recommended by our insurance company in their latest site assessment. As to the 24-25 audit, the administration shared that the audit is nearly complete and the auditor has provided a draft report for review. Administration provided an update on the budget election calendar and shared that the budget process for 26-27 will be in full swing in a few weeks. Meetings have taken place with some departments already. As to the cafeteria, administration shared updated data from the Food Services Department for the month of October. There were 4,964 breakfasts and 45,926 lunches served in 21 serving days, which was 1 day less than the prior year. This was an increase of 989 breakfasts and 1,676 lunches over the previous year, which is made more impressive by the difference in the number of serving days. The committee will next meet on Tuesday, December 9th.
Thank you, Louisa. Any questions, comments from the board? No? Okay, so that means we can move on to the voting portion of our meeting. Can I get a motion for administration items numbers 1 through 8? Liz and Ajanta. Any questions or comments? Okay. Bonnie.
Okay. Ms. George Tenera,
Yes.
Ms. Shaw,
Yes.
Ms. Ho,
Yes.
Ms. Maliga,
Yes.
Mr. O'Brien,
Yes.
Ms. Shetty,
Yes.
Ms. Bonsall,
Yes.
and Ms. McEwen.
Yes. Can I get a motion for curriculum and instruction items numbers 1 and 2? Loy and Pooja. Questions or comments?
Okay. Ms. Maliga,
Yes.
Ms. Bonsall,
Yes.
Ms. Shetty,
Yes.
Ms. George Tenera,
Yes.
Ms. Ho,
Yes.
Mr. O'Brien,
Yes.
Ms. Shaw,
Yes.
and Ms. McEwen.
Yes. Can I get a motion for finance items numbers 1 through 13, plus the blue addendum? Louisa and Paul, any questions or comments?
Okay. Ms. Ho,
Yes.
Mr. O'Brien,
Yes.
Ms. Shaw,
Yes.
Ms. George Tenera,
Yes.
Ms. Maliga,
Yes.
Ms. Shetty,
Yes.
Ms. Bonsall,
Yes.
and Ms. McEwen.
Yes. Can I get a motion for personal items numbers 1 and 2, plus the green, pink, and yellow addenda? Liz and Shweta, any questions or comments?
Okay. Ms. George Tenera,
Yes.
Ms. Shetty,
Yes.
Ms. Ho,
Yes.
Ms. Maliga,
Yes.
Mr. O'Brien,
Yes.
Ms. Shaw,
Yes.
Ms. Bonsall,
Yes.
and Ms. McEwen.
Yes. Well, first, before we move on, I am really excited to see this long list of 30 student teachers. So wish them well on this real-world learning journey. And we would also like to acknowledge 2 retirees that we just approved on this voting portion. First is Lisa Hubbard. She is our learning disabilities teacher consultant at Maurice Hawk Town Center and Wyckoff. She's been with the district for 2 years and is now ready to retire. And to Colette Farrow, secretary at Central Office. After 25 years of service to the district, she is also ready to retire. So we wish you both well and enjoy this next chapter ahead. So thank you very much for your service to the district. Then can I get a motion to approve the Board of Education minutes from our October 28th meeting? Pooja and Loy. All in favor, say aye.
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 Any abstentions?
Yes, I abstain.
And I abstain as well. Do we have any board liaison reports tonight? Go ahead, Liz.
Just wanted to mention that the district administration met with the PTSA executive boards recently, and there were 2 presentations made that were very well received. One was on the AI presentation that was similarly done for the Parents University, which was also very well attended and very thorough. And the second presentation was with regard to the guidance department on all the range of counseling services offered. So it was a very open and productive conversation about how the district values and sheds a lot of importance and priorities around counseling services for the district.
Awesome, thank you. Any other liaison reports? Okay, any new business? That takes us to our second opportunity for public comments. The board invites comments from members of our community who are present. Each participant is asked to give his or her name and address prior to making a statement, which will be limited to 3 minutes in accordance with Board Policy 0167. All statements shall be directed to the presiding officer. This public comment period shall be limited to 15 minutes. Any takers? I saw possibly, but looks like no. So seeing none, I will close this public comment period and move to adjourn. Can I get a motion to adjourn tonight's meeting? Ajanta and Loy. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All right, thank you and good night.